must have been in the middle of the night. I'd finished all my sessions, so I'm just in the studio on my ones.
Yeah.
I hear a massive boom, 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 and then I hear an angle grinder going.
Oh God.
And I'm hearing, please, please. And I think they're coming into my room.
Yeah.
So I didn't leave the room for about 4 hours. Yeah, I'm hiding in the room.
Talking Shop's next guest is old friend Sean D. Now, if you don't know who Sean D is, he is responsible for the biggest drill and rap tracks that you've heard in the last 5 to 10 years, collaborating both British and American artists with the Plug Records. Let's talk to him about how he got into sound engineering and the career that he now holds under his belt today. It's wild. Right, Sean. Yeah, it's going to be more of a conversation than it is a trim, but yeah. So, brother, sound engineer extraordinaire. What did you want to do when you were a kid, man?
When I was about 12, 13, I got my first Walkman. I had a Prodigy cassette, and from there I kind of knew I wanted to do music. I must have listened to that cassette like hundreds of times. You know, you had to rewind it.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my first glimpse of what I wanted to do.
And then how did that sort of then evolve?
The friends I was with at the time were kind of into like rock music, so I tried to learn guitar. Didn't do it very well. We were in a band, so I was doing that for a couple years, played a few gigs. From there, it's kind of like in school, like garage and grime became popular.
Yeah, for real.
And everyone wanted to be a DJ. So then I pivoted from rock to being like a garage guy. Yeah, I just started learning to DJ.
Yeah.
Managed to get some belt drive turntables. There weren't any CD decks at the time, so you had to learn on vinyl.
Right.
Then for the next maybe 4 or 5 years, I was trying to be a DJ. I was trying all sorts of ways, so I was going to pirate radio stations every week just on my ones.
Yeah.
Like Axe FM, Urban FM.
Turning up, playing subs and playing.
Yeah. Just trying to meet people. And then I was doing like parties, like birthday parties, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I just found it was hard to consistently earn money. When I was in school, I was also having like a retail job. Yeah, that was kind of the path of DJing.
Did you go to college? Did you feel like you needed any qualifications to get you to that next step? How did it evolve?
To be fair, I didn't really know what the next step was, but I knew if I'd gone uni, I probably would have just dropped out. I was realising the DJing weren't really working, and the pirate radio station I used to go to, they had a recording studio downstairs.
Okay.
There was a guy called MSM, his studio, and he used to record people like Skepta, Chip. So I was seeing these people go in the studio when I was at radio, and I was kind of like inspired that, okay, what's this scene here? That's when I learned about engineering and running a studio.
From MSM?
No, not like directly from him, just seeing it happening downstairs. So there's a guy called Majestic and MSM were down there. And so my close friend John, he had a garage on his house. So we decided to convert the garage into a studio. Like, he loves DJing. And I just thought, let me try record my friends. I was there for about 2 years, building, sort of learning how to engineer. I didn't go to school or nothing though.
You didn't go to college, do a sound engineer course or?
No, I didn't know what I was doing.
Really, yeah?
Yeah. I started with a setup. I had like a £150 mic. We had Rocket 5s, which are like £300 speakers.
And you were just learning from people around you?
Well, I just kind of Googled how to record.
Like an internet education then?
Yeah.
It was funny because there's so many barbers that have come through now that are like, never went to school, just worked in shops, which to be honest is the way you learn, is on the job, especially with practical jobs. You're learning on the job. You have to just do it and like learn from your mistakes. And
100%, like a lot of trial and error. But yeah, it was literally, so I copied the template, started trying to use the software. And because when you're recording your mates, money wasn't really involved at the time. Like, I was maybe charging them hourly, some of them.
Yeah.
But there was no pressure, so it was kind of a good space to learn because I could just kind of mess about and find my way. And then I was there for about 2 years until John's stepdad sort of had enough of us. All the smoking weed and, all the bringing people at all different hours.
Yeah.
So eventually he just used to lock off the electrics in the middle of my sessions.
Just switch it up.
Yeah.
Great.
And, he kicked us out. I was waiting for it to happen. But no, I always thanked them lot because that was the first step of my career. And I wasn't paying rent in there.
Yeah, of course.
So I was taking the piss really, but after that, I managed to find a studio in North London, Brimsdown.
Yeah, I went to that one.
Yeah.
I remember coming there.
Yeah. So it was a bit of like a shithole building.
It was a proper horrible area, man. It was sketchy as well.
Yeah, so there was mice in the walls and stuff.
Yeah.
There's holes in the walls. But it was really cheap rent. It was like a prison, there were the bars everywhere.
They were growing there or something and it got shut down or something.
Yeah. So one story I got from there is, it must have been in the middle of the night. I'd finished all my sessions, so I'm just in the studio on my ones.
Yeah.
I hear a massive boom, 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 and then I hear an angle grinder going.
Oh, God.
And I'm hearing, please, please. And I think they're coming into my room.
Yeah.
So I didn't leave the room for about 4 hours. Yeah, I'm hiding in the room. And then when I come out, eventually I see they raided, and the room opposite from me was a grow house.
Right.
So yeah.
Someone else coming off and locking off the electrics, man.
Yeah. The guys got away though. They didn't get their plants or anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Good for them.
All right, cool. So how long were you in there? Because I remember when you guys moved from there, and was that a bit of a better space that you were in?
Yeah, it was a better space, as in obviously it was studios, so you wouldn't get noise complaints.
Mm-hmm.
There was no one switching the electrics off. It was made for me to do my thing. The good thing about it for me was that there was other radio stations in the other spots around it. So it kind of helped me to grow my client base.
Right.
Rappers would come to the radio stations and then they'd come up to my studio afterwards.
Was this in Tottenham?
No, this one was in North London, so
Okay,
like
yeah,
Enfield sort of ways. That's where I met like Big Nasty, Young Spray, sort of like Meridian Crew.
So then you're working with like the key players in the grime game.
Yeah. I was working with them. As soon as I recorded them, I managed to kind of impress them into sort of using my studio regularly.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, there still wasn't much money in the sort of rap UK scene.
Yeah.
So even though these people like had names in the scene, they were still making money other ways. But yeah, man, that's where I was for about 7 years.
And then, because what you have now, which is Signature Studios.
Yeah.
So how did we get from busted Brimstone Madhouse to now your own? How many studios you got in there? It's like
seven
studios. You've produced, engineered probably all of the biggest grime and drill artists of the last 5 years. How did it jump from that?
The biggest kind of thing that changed my career was a song called German Wit. So when I mixed that, at the time, nothing was really charting, especially.
Dan, huh?
Yeah. Nothing was really charting in the sort of grime scene and the rap scene, and then that song went number 13 in the charts.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, people started taking me seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to take a risk, invest in myself. I got a studio in Tottenham, which was about 4 times the rent of which I was paying for the shithole. And then from there I met like Huncho, and Huncho must have done a feature. We had Heady One. That's how I met Heady One.
Mm-hmm.
Heady One had a feature on a track which was Young Bane. That's how I met Young Bane. So it kind of just snowballed into knowing all these artists. And then from there I stopped being as much of a recording engineer, became more of a mixer.
So what's the difference?
Recording engineer, you're in the room with the artist, so you're pressing record, so you're creating the song.
Mm-hmm.
Mixing engineer, you've got the song already there.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting the parts off the producer. You're basically making it sound good.
Okay, so you're adjusting the levels and more the technical side of things.
Yeah, you're like a finisher. Yeah, so I built myself as an engineer, as a mixer, and then from there, growing up, you know Jack, right?
I know Jack, yeah.
Yeah.
Jack the Plug?
Jack the Plug, yeah. So he runs like loads of weed coffee shops in Barcelona and Amsterdam. I must have just DM'd him one day and just said, we should do an album.
Was he already involved in the music industry?
No, not at all, but we kind of respected each other of what we built, and I knew he liked music. And I just thought it would be cool for a weed brand to do an album.
Yeah. Because they all love smoking.
Yeah.
It's like,
And then obviously all the American rappers they go to his shop when they go to Barcelona. So he had a lot of links.
Yeah, because your label then, the Plug Records, they were, of what I know anyway, one of the first big record labels to then collaborate both English and American artists.
Yeah.
But that was like a real project, right? Like that was done on purpose.
To
bring these UK and American artists together on one track.
Yeah, so that was the concept, kind of to collaborate with the US. And yeah, you're right, at the time no one was really doing it. Quite a lot of collabs now.
Rise of social media and YouTube and stuff like that. Like obviously now music from all over the world is so easy to find. We're not just confined to what you're seeing on MTV or music that's like available to you locally. Like, you know, the grime scene was very exclusive to London, right?
100%, yeah. It's much more connected nowadays because of the internet.
So I think it was like really well received, wasn't it? Like some of the tracks you did went platinum, and you guys did your own.
2 silver records on there and about 170 million streams.
Yeah, nice. And then you did your own festival as well?
Yeah, there was a festival in Cyprus.
Yeah.
Done well. And then from there, obviously COVID happened.
Seems to be a common factor in everyone's story.
Yeah. During COVID, I never had a studio, and I've always wanted to build my own spot. You know what it is, with the business model, when you're renting a studio in London, it's just, you're paying extortionate prices because they put like a studio premium on it, and it's just for a tiny room. And I thought to myself, if I get the capital together, I can sort of build, because I knew how to build studios, build my own spot.
Yeah.
And then I can rent some of the rooms, and you know, it's a much better business model. And then yeah, man, luckily after the first month of launching, we had a #1 single with Tion Wayne, which was Body. So the first drill song to go #1. And then we did the first Central C album, 23, which went #1, first drill album to go #1.
Amazing.
So it's kind of, you could call it luck or whatever you want to call it, but...
Luck has a part to play in, I think, everyone's story, like we can't deny that, but I think like this is going to be my next question, is just like hard work, dedication, putting the fucking hours in, man. And like not saying no and like fucking, you know, no sleep and all that, you know, all the usual stuff that it takes to get somewhere. How's the life work balance now with that?
I mean...
Was there one? Like,
yeah, so when I was in the sort of the Brimsdown place, with the mice in the walls, I'd say that I had no balance at all then. So it was just pure work. Never really had a social life. I brought my social life to me, so my friends would come to the studio to see me.
Yeah, I'll hear it.
Yeah, from there, obviously when you get to a certain level of success, it allows you to be a bit more sort of choosy over your hours you work.
Yeah.
What completely changed my life was when I had my daughter. So when I had my daughter, I was just like I'm not doing 6 a.m. sessions anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I want to put her to bed every night.
Some stability.
Yeah, so that's when I set boundaries. Yeah, now I pretty much do 9 to 5, which is quite unusual in the music industry.
So it's funny because now all of a sudden you're understanding John's dad.
Yeah, it's true. Full circle.
Exactly. And what would you say the pros and cons are of your chosen career?
Cons is definitely sort of the uncertainty. The music industry is changing all the time. You might be hot now. I've seen it so much where people are hot. They're living a lifestyle, you know what I mean? Mad overheads to their lifestyle. And suddenly they're not hot anymore and it all comes crashing down.
Are you not in a safer position than this?
I mean, the thing with engineering, the thing with anything in music is you get pigeonholed quite a lot.
So you're the drill guy now?
Yeah, basically. But I've managed to sort of expand my opportunities where, because I've got more than just my engineering now, so I'm not reliant on just that. Because I manage producers and they're multi-genre producers.
And educate as well, no? And
and
stuff like that, right?
Yeah, we do like the workshops.
Yeah.
I manage producers. I've got the studio where we rent it out for sessions. So I'm not just relying on my engineering. But yeah, man, that's kind of the cons, is the sort of uncertainty. Obviously, anyone self-employed kind of knows that struggle.
Yeah.
I mean, the pros, I can kind of do what I want. So, you know, I see people who have careers.
But you've got to a point after all that hard work, now you can do what you want. Right?
Yeah.
It wasn't at the start.
No. So at the start, you're just grafting whenever you can. But
how long is that taking you to get to a point of doing what you want?
About 12 years.
12 years, okay.
Yeah. Took a while. My brothers, they're both kind of straight cut. They have sort of careers, corporate.
Yeah.
And I see them like booking holiday days and that kind of thing, and it's quite restrictive. So I feel like massive pro, just your freedom.
Yeah. And having your own, just having that comes with having your own thing, but it comes with a lot of hard work, and you know, getting there in the first place is not as easy as just, I want to do this, or like, let's do this. There's like so many steps to it.
Yeah.
You've mentioned some very big names and some very big artists that you've worked with, so, but you've come from like being a DJ at like parties, so I'm guessing the earning potential of what you do as well, it's really like, depends on how far you're willing to take it, right?
Yeah. A lot of it's just sort of patience. I mean, along the path, there's a lot of times where you can't really see the end goal and you think, is this it? Obviously, when I was recording, I'm charging like £10 an hour. I'm behind on my rent, not having clients to fill up the day, you know, and you think to yourself, shit, do I just sack this all in and get a job that can be more consistent and secure? So it's kind of like just having that sort of delusional belief that it's going to work out in the end, or just being like, look, I'm here for the long run.
Having no plan B in it.
Yeah, basically,
It's true, man. The key to plan A working is not having a plan B. Just sticking to it, 100%. Cool, man. I think that's been a really good conversation.
Cool.
Thanks for coming through.
No worries, man. Thank you.
Sick.